All right, so since this is the first episode, I guess we should do introductions, shouldn't we? And also for those watching this live, I guess I'll start. So I'm Walrus. I'm the game master. I kind of came up with this over a few nights when I was drunk, and I was like, this would be a good idea. So this is my first time being a game master. So a lot of this is I'm gonna some rules I'm gonna ignore, some things I'm gonna let slide, and some things I might just not have a plan. My job as dungeon master is just kind of I'm kind of like a little god for these people. I determine what happens.
I guess I go next because I'm the next one. The DM.
Yeah, I'm your god.
Right here.
Bow to me.
So I'm Mr. Womble, and I'm the original Womble. I don't give a shit about this guy right here. That Soviet that fucking bitch faced wanker. There is a wanker. Yep.
We've gone off the rails already.
you know, one day, because I have been all over fucking Twitch, one day there will be a viewer that knows who Soviet Womble is and will post on the Soviet Womble stream, oh, Mr. Womble says you're a wanker, and I'm gonna have a fucking field day right there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm Dilligast, a wise old wizard, and that's all I'm gonna say from there. Moving on to Aaron.
I'm Aaron. I'm the most experienced D&D player. I'm going to shoot everyone and take their shit. I'm playing Thalian Foglin, an Elven hunter with amnesia.
Moving on to Dan, by the looks of it.
Me. I am Dan, as previously mentioned.
Oh, I thought you were Soviet Womble.
I thought it was as well. I mean, the better of the two Wombles, let's all be honest.
Cunt back!
That'd be fun.
I am a half-orc with a hunter, that's the one. You can tell I've paid a lot of attention to my character. I've got a pet crocodile called Humphrey, and I've not really got much of a backstory at the moment, but yeah.
Just work on it as you go, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm basically... I don't know what I'm doing, let's be honest, so I'm just going to figure it out as I go.
Hey, me too, man. And I'm the dungeon master. So.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think I'm the only one that's came up with a structured backstory here.
Hey, I have a structured backstory.
To be fair, Mons has a good one.
Let Cliff introduce himself.
I'm Cliff. I'm Haverith Brownstone. This is my second or third time playing the actual D&D. I've played the board game before. And I am a dwarf druid, and I've kind of wanted to stay, true to me, who I am as a person. And I'm German, so my character is a drunk, Also, as you can see on Roll20... Womble is out the window.
You have no idea how happy I am with you saying that.
Also, as you can see in Roll20net, I am a great artiste. I've taken Womble's creation and I've only improved on it with mustard yellow. So yeah, that's me. Also, I have a squeaky chair, and I'm already sorry about that. But chairs cost money.
It's fine. Just listen to that shit. Listen to that shit, baby.
Squeak that chair.
Okay, everybody squeak their chair.
Oh no, my last chair used to be fucking squeaky as fuck. I've got recordings of my chair fucking up everything.
How about you
it's
don't
hilarious.
Can we
play?
Oh, this is a PG stream, by the way. No, it's not. Fuck off.
We've been prepping for 2 hours now,
Twitch. I'm not gonna get banned from Twitch by actually, maybe. I don't make any money from Twitch.
You've been drinking again.
Okay.
What do you mean again?
Well, continuously.
You should ask him if he's ever stopped.
I'm actually Soviet. No, I'm not.
No.
Alright, shall we get started?
Yeah, maybe. We've only been at it an hour.
Alright, so, welcome to the world of Sanbar. It's a very wide world. It's actually the shape of the map, I haven't drawn it yet. It's kind of shaped almost like the United States and Canada, so kind of North America.
Fucking American.
Fuck you, we won the war. We won both wars.
God.
We won every war. We fought ourselves and still won.
But you also lost. I mean,
we also did lose that war. But so this is so some background. there's a very shaky union between the different races which occupy the different parts of this world. So in kind of the east and the kind of a little bit of what would be the Midwest, it's the elves and the humans who have the main control, and they run it's kind of a republic. So the Chancellor, very similar to Star Wars, the Chancellor may or may not be evil. Find out later. But so the Chancellor and his council is kind of run pretty much by elves and men. But we also have dwarves that live in the mountains.
Wait, Boris, do you want to read the little introduction you wrote?
Oh yeah.
For the actual campaign, because that's quite a cool little narrative. It's quite short. Or do you want someone else to read? I know you like the voice acting kind of thing, so I thought I'd throw it your way.
I'll read it. I don't have a voice plan for Dagon. So. Also, something for people, a lot of people don't know, but I am basing this off of some books and literature I've read. So if you do catch the hint of where I'm drawing my sources, be sure you don't tell everybody else, because that will spoil it. I'm pretty sure most of the people here haven't read it. What's going on?
That typing shit on my stream! Sorry, Boris, carry on. These rude people are being interruptive.
So the backstory, for the backstory, we have a entry from Dagon II, which is the son of the Supreme Chancellor Dagon, and he wrote this journal entry as kind of a summary of his father's State of the Union address. So this will be a good, just introduction to the world, really. Yeah. The year is 94 AU. The entirety of Sanbar has finally made peace and joined in a union, allowing for different races to coexist relatively peacefully on the same continent. Our union is still weak. We do not fully trust each other yet. After all, it's been a mere 94 years since we joined together. My father, Supreme Chancellor Dagon, united a high council to establish and maintain peace. Unity was the only way to stop the racial crusades and civil wars amongst these factions. The union formed in a unique way. There was little conquest, with the exception of the Badlands and the skirmishes with the dwarves, and most cultures joined as they were allowed to maintain their rights and customs. While diplomacy was our mechanism for creating this union, many beings feared to say no to the combined power of the union of elves and man once they have joined together. The dwarves were last to join the union, as they remained barricaded in their mountains, bombarding all outsiders with large enchanted or partially molten rocks. Our envoys probably finally made peace with them less than a year ago. The dwarves have never been kind to the outsiders and only begrudgingly let people into their homelands out of fear of sanctions from the high councils. It is many a night that my father has had to send a party of one-minders to enforce the peace. Even as son of the Chancellor, the one-minders terrify me. Their headquarters smell chemical, almost too chemicals, and some nights civilians report screaming at the heights of their towers. I beg my father to make their practices more ethical, but if it works, one shouldn't try to fix it. The Druids of the Southern Midlands cause trouble as well. My friends and father's governors report strange and frightening encounters from their outposts in the plains. My dear God damn it. My friend Yova asked me to include a reference, and I forgot I did this. My dear companion Spaghetti went to investigate on orders from some councilman and never returned.
What?
Spaghetti.
Well, I'm not even gonna
Explain it later. Explain it later.
Explain it after he's finished.
Yeah,
Carry on,
after
Boris.
you
The people in those lands keep strange customs, and from it is implied from scouting reports that they live in a land of savagery, magic, and dark entities. They've rejected government assistance. Regardless of whatever occurs in their own lands and their strange and savage attitude, they do keep the Chancellor's peace. The civilized folk have progressed greatly since the union with the dwarves. Elven magic, dwarven engineering, and the determination of man caused what our experts are calling in early stages of quote-unquote industrialization. The status of the relationship between elves and men remains the same since the beginning of AU, as we both occupy the eastern coasts. Man is not an unhelpful race, but their lives are short, and they are much younger of a species than we are. Besides the occasional diplomat, the majority of and major cities of the country and major cities in the east are populated by elf and men. Industrialization has not taken a toll on the woodlands and helped us maintain peace among these creatures. The halflings and elves that remain in the woods tend to be self-sustaining and kindly adventurers. Gnomes have recently declared themselves an active species capable of joining the Union. The only problem is their leader is an old, demented being who foams at the mouth whenever angered. Legend has it he can fly as well. Talks with the gnomes will begin in the next few moons. There's no news from the Badlands. It's likely they are dealing with their own problems. Their climate is naturally harsh, and the new creatures are always spawning from rocks and lava. Surprisingly, the orcs have kept the peace with the odd assortment of life forms and demon spawn that arise. Our prison camps in the Badland continue to be an effective form of punishment for those who do not keep the Chancellor's peace. Indigenous life does a good job as the natural guards and wardens, and those who... Sorry, my computer just went black.
Oh,
those who are indigenous to this region do not mind their jobs. If they did, we could find other work for them. The population of the realm appears to have calmed down about the fact that we are containing all of our dangerous criminals in one area together. The reason I write these journals is my father is a terrible writer, and someone needs to account for the activities of the realm. As for myself, I've been sent to investigate the remains of a town that's been massacred by some sort of plague. People from nearby towns report that this large town is near abandoned and the remaining people are strange, even when compared to the druids and strange creatures of the Badlands. Epidemiology has never been my strong suit, but some officials should go speak with them. And that's where we pick up here. So there's all sorts of things that I'm allowing the players to progress. They can go through. They can go look into that epidemiological study. They can go to the Badlands and deal with all the criminals there. They can deal with the fascinating one-minders and the kind of shadow government that is hinted at by Dagon. Or they can make their own adventure. They can go punt dwarves off.
Which will fuck you up.
Yep, and it will be difficult for me. And they can go punt dwarves off.
Shall we just say right now that the first kind of thing is probably going to be just roleplay? Do you want to say that?
Yeah. So the first session, because there is a lot of different pathways I allowed the players to take, the first session is going to be mostly roleplay as they determine the path they want to go down, and that will allow me to prepare for it more in the future. So today we're probably, if you see combat, it's going to be very, very brief and fleeting. It's going to be more of a story-oriented day.
Like a bar brawl or something.
I like how you've got a scene set for a fight in the very first starting area. Okay, it's all good.
Well,
probably a bar brawl. Yeah, we're starting in the bar.
To be fair, okay, so I guess it's up to DM. Okay, let's go.
Well, okay.
All right.
Let's go, boys. Okay.